What is the ambition behind the Telos 790 integrated amplifier from Goldmund? It's huge. They are determined to create an ultimate integrated amp that can go head-to-head with high-end pre-power amp combos. So, can Goldmund achieve what they set out to do? And when making a top-tier integrated amp, what is the biggest challenge they face? Also, what does it actually sound like? Will it be a wild beast or something gentle and refined? Just like everyone else, I'm really curious, so I'm eager to power it up and give it a listen. What was the final result? Keep watching and you'll find out. Hello to all hi-fi enthusiasts and welcome to Hi-Fi Fever Channel. I'm Lee388. Before we get started, I hope everyone can support Hi-Fi Fever Channel a bit more. Without your support, it would really be hard for me to keep going. There are actually many ways you can support us. First, you can watch more of our Hi-Fi Fever Channel videos, subscribe to the channel, or even click the super fan button below to buy me a cup of coffee. Of course, the biggest support you can give is to scan the QR code on the screen and become one of our loyal members. Alright, enough talk. Let's get to the video. Looking at this Telos C7901, you can immediately tell it's a high-end flagship integrated amplifier. Crafted with Swiss precision from an aluminum alloy chassis, how does it feel in the hand? Honestly, it's incredibly smooth and seamless. As for the interface ports, you could say they're absolutely flawless. Its dimensions are 47.8 centimeters wide, 20.6 centimeters high, and 54.7 centimeters deep, weighing in at 37 kilograms. This is truly a massive and heavy integrated amp. Many power amps aren't even this big, and if it's from Goldmund, you know it's top tier. On both sides of the chassis, there are these massive heat sinks. I've tried pushing the amp hard, running it all day, and when I touched it, it didn't feel hot at all. This proves its thermal design is truly top-notch. At the base, there are also 4 adjustable metal feet that let you fine-tune the height and level. As for the front panel, it features a very minimalist design, with only 2 physical knobs to control input selection and volume. Between these 2 knobs, the display shows the selected input and the current volume. Since the 790 has a built-in DAC, inputs 1 to 3 are digital inputs, while inputs 4 to 7 are RCA, and the last 2, 8 and 9, are balanced inputs. The 2 indicator lights in the middle show whether the unit is powered on and whether there is a signal on the digital input. And of course, the most important thing is this gold plate, which indicates that it's made in Switzerland and also shows the model number of this unit. As for the basic inputs, there are 4 sets of RCA analog inputs and 2 sets of XLR balanced inputs. On the digital side, there's this USB input that supports 384 kHz/32-bit and DSD 128. In addition, there are also optical and coaxial inputs. For this USB input, it supports AudioCast 2.0, and for Mac and Linux, you don't need a driver, only Windows requires one. Also, there are upgraded speaker outputs. Above the IEC power socket, there's a main power switch. For the standby switch, you need to use the remote control. As for its power output, at 8 ohms, it delivers 2 times 300 watts, and at 4 ohms, it goes up to 2 times 400 watts. At the beginning, I mentioned that to make a top-tier integrated amplifier, the biggest challenge you face is the temperature. If you look at the machine, with 2 channels each outputting 300 watts, the amount of heat generated is really quite high. So if the temperature isn't well controlled, the machine could easily overheat inside. This can cause the component values to change, making the machine unstable and sometimes causing distortion. That's why with the Telos 790, a lot of effort has been put into heat dissipation. So you'll see that this machine has a huge heatsink on both sides. When you open it up, you'll notice a very large high-temperature golden plate inside, and below that there's an aluminum alloy bracket that looks like a bridge. It turns out that underneath this aluminum alloy bracket there's a power transistor installed. The heat generated is transferred from this bracket to the heat sinks on both sides, which greatly improves the machine's cooling efficiency thanks to this aluminum alloy bracket. It also strengthens the rigidity of the machine, reducing external vibrations. This makes the sound produced by the machine even more stable and of higher quality. As for the other internal components, especially the power supply section, compared to the 690 I tested before, it's much heavier now. For example, the two toroidal transformers have been upgraded from the 350 VA ones used in the 690 to two 1000 VA units. The transformers are enclosed in a metal casing for complete shielding. The capacitance has been upgraded from 46,000 microfarads to 4 large capacitors totaling 80,000 microfarads. And for each channel, 2 pairs of British power tubes are used, which not only deliver powerful output, but also achieve a damping factor of 600, providing excellent control. The core of this Telos 790 is a highly exclusive amplification technology. This technology has been continuously evolving since it was introduced in the 1990s, and to this day, it remains at the forefront of the industry, utilizing a Class AB amplification design. By combining ultra-high linear components with an ultra-wide frequency bandwidth, it achieves nearly zero distortion and an extremely high dynamic range.
The spring breeze softly brushes against my face, a pleasant feeling. It truly tells me that it is now the beautiful spring season. Who says spring is for sleeping, unaware of the dawn? Only those who come this way truly know. How wise.
This time, for the listening test of the 790, just like when we tested the 690 before, we're using the same MagicOS 3 2023 floor-standing speakers. The sound of this 790 this time, whether in terms of tone or driving power, is clearly a step up from the 690. It truly is a next-generation integrated amp king. Since this is an ultimate-level integrated amp, of course we have to make the most of it and get the best sound possible. I suddenly remembered that when I previously auditioned this high-end amp with other equipment, I noticed that it actually sounded better without any power conditioning. So later I tried plugging this 790 directly into the wall socket. And sure enough, just like when you tested the equipment before, plugging it directly into the wall made the sound even more natural. This unit is really quite heavy, so at first I just put it on the floor to start listening. Later on, I had some friends come over to help. So we tried putting the unit up on the audio rack and it sounded even better. The power and dynamics were further enhanced. So let's get back to the main question. Does the 790 sound like a wild beast? Or is it gentle and smooth? First, I wanted to test its power, so I picked an extremely dynamic test disc. It's the RR Voice album. Actually, this is a percussion-focused vinyl, and it's a 45 RPM record. On side B of the record, the second track not only features traditional percussion instruments, but also includes things like a plumber's pipe and a large oil drum. In other words, this is a super dynamic, extremely powerful vinyl record. So this time it's like the ultimate test to see if the 790 can handle it. I think the 790 really passed the test this time. The sense of energy was extremely strong. It was so powerful that my entire false ceiling was shaking along with it. And when playing the pig music, the sound was also very forceful. Not only did it reproduce the percussion, but I felt a real sense of authenticity, and the live atmosphere was very convincing. The sense of space felt like it was right in front of me. Also, when it played the sounds of the plumber's pipe and the big oil drum, it sounded incredibly realistic in my opinion. As for the sound of the 790, it leans towards being calm and orderly. With deep and well-controlled bass, it's definitely not overly aggressive. So I feel that when it plays those big explosive sounds, it's more like a beast but not quite a monster. When it comes to playing more normal content like vocals, I've always thought that high-end equipment like this really excels at reproducing voices. So, this time listening to the 790 is no exception. When it comes to vocals, the texture, the sense of density, and the quietness it delivers can really be compared to previous flagship models. The vocal imaging is moderate, natural, and warm. Also, I feel that the sound of the 790 is not just about being gentle and soft. You could say it strikes a good balance between richness and clarity. As for the overall tone, I think this 790 manages to maintain that signature sound of KN, sweet and refined with a touch of luxury. Plus, the mid-range overtones are full of variety. Additionally, the level of detail is more than sufficient, but it doesn't come across as overly aggressive, making it very pleasant and easy to listen to. The treble extension is also adequate, and it doesn't sound thin at all. Even when playing at low volumes, there's still enough resolution, because this machine itself has a very low noise floor. Seriously, it can really compare to high-end preamps and power amps. The Goldmund Telos 790 is truly an ultimate integrated amplifier. It really achieves the manufacturer's goals. Whether you're listening to classical, vocals, or jazz, it's all top-notch. So, is it worth buying? If you're looking for an all-in-one machine to drive some hard-to-drive speakers, but you don't want the hassle of separate preamps and power amps, plus you want Swiss-made top-tier craftsmanship and flawless sound, and if you're an audiophile who pursues the ultimate, then this can truly be called the ultimate choice. So what are the main drawbacks? I think the downside is that this unit is really big, so before you buy it, you really need to think it through and see if your audio rack can actually fit it. Also, I've actually tried putting this unit on the floor and it really can't deliver its full sound potential that way. Alright, lastly, let me ask everyone, do you prefer using separate preamps and power amps, or do you like integrated amplifiers? Feel free to share your reasons in the comments below and discuss with everyone. Alright, that's it for today's sharing. Lastly, I'd like to thank the audiophile who treated me to coffee. See you in the next video.